Kim Kardashian just stepped onto her private jet in a look that mirrors Bianca Censori's most viral outfit, down to the face wrap, and the internet is calling it desperate, calculated, or both. You've seen the photos, the five-figure YSL glamour, the sheer silhouette, the SKIMS face wrap. Kim Kardashian curates a moment, and within minutes the feeds explode. She's copying Bianca. It's a PR trap. It's genius marketing. But here's what most people miss. This isn't just one outfit. It's a strategic play at the intersection of rivalry, attention economics, and brand warfare. Bianca set a 2025 benchmark for shock the timeline fashion. Kim's counterpunch is to step right into that silhouette, then redirect the spotlight back to SKIMS, her engine, her empire, her algorithmic weapon. Tonight, we're pulling apart the threads, the images, the timing, the reactions, and the motive. Is this a clout grab, a calculated homage, or a surgical PR move using Bianca's virality as free fuel? Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the clearer it gets that nothing about this look is accidental. Start with the scene, a polished private jet backdrop, the kind that screams, "I move wealth faster than the news cycle." Kim steps in wearing couture that isn't trying to whisper. It's designed to own your screen. The textures are deliberate, high gloss, high contrast, camera hungry. And then there's the face wrap, a SKIMS signature piece tucked into a luxury tableau. It's not just fashion, it's product placement that doesn't need a hashtag to work. What happens next is textbook Kardashian, velocity. Within minutes, those images slide into Explore pages and For You feeds across platforms. But the spark isn't just luxury, it's familiarity. People have seen a version of this silhouette before, on Bianca Censori, when her look detonated the timeline earlier this year. The brain does what it always does with pattern recognition. It connects dots, frames the moment as a copy, and ignites the most powerful engine in modern media: debate. This is where Kim wins before the discourse even starts. If viewers argue copycat, they're still saying Kim plus SKIMS. If they argue PR genius, they're still saying Kim plus SKIMS. The outfit isn't just a look, it's a boomerang. Throw it into the chaos, let it collect outrage, praise, and memes, and watch it return carrying brand impressions you didn't have to buy. Question is, how intentional is the resemblance? And how much does intent even matter when the results are this predictable? Keep that in mind as we step into the timeline. Team check. Are you Team Kim or Team Bianca? Your take decides how we read the next chapter. Let's map the comparisons honestly. Bianca's rise as a fashion disruptor didn't happen quietly. It arrived with blunt edges, monochrome minimalism, sculptural silhouettes, and a face-obscuring mystique that made people ask, is this fashion or performance art? Kim's new look borrows the same language. Bodycon transparency, severe lines, an accessory that turns a face into an icon rather than a person. On a thumbnail, side by side, they rhyme. But rhyme isn't replica. Kim's long game has always been synthesis. She studies what pulls focus, then remixes with a Kardashian gloss. Glamour over provocation, commercial over conceptual. Bianca's fits can feel like an art gallery dare. Kim's are department store deployable. That difference matters. When Kim picks up Bianca's visual grammar, she isn't trying to become Bianca. She's converting that grammar into something scalable. A product story, a seasonal mood board, a reason to click add to cart. And that's where SKIMS slips in like a watermark. The face wrap isn't just a nod, it's a literal link in the audience's head. I can buy that vibe. Sheer panels, sculptware, it's all a bridge to the brand. Even the Backlash does the work. Every she copied comment is a free ad that keeps the item top of mind, while social compression turns a luxury tableau into a shopping impulse. So, is Kim copying, or is she translating? In the attention economy, translation often outperforms origin, and the algorithm doesn't reward originality. It rewards repetition that converts. Ready for the pressure test? Let's follow the money. Translation or copying? What's your read? Follow the incentives. Bianca's viral peaks don't link to a mass-market storefront with the same velocity. They link to discourse, mystique, and a very specific cultural shock value. Kim's peaks link to a business with SKIMS at the center, built to monetize attention within hours. So when Kim mirrors a Bianca-coded silhouette, she isn't just grabbing a headline, she's building a funnel. The jet photo becomes the top layer. The face wrap becomes the path. The comment war becomes the retargeting pool. Here's the counterintuitive part. Backlash is part of the plan. Outrage triggers quote tweets trigger stitches, stitches trigger compilations, compilations trigger explained videos like this one. That spiral widens the audience from fashion obsessives to casual viewers who might not care about runway references, but do care about a good rivalry and a clickable aesthetic. And somewhere in that widening spiral sits a quietly placed product page, glowing in stock. Timing, too, is strategy. Dropping a look when the news cycle needs a spark can bulldoze quieter headlines and force a reset around her. That's the Kardashian talent. Feeling when the room is bored, then giving it something divisive enough to argue about, but simple enough to screenshot. Intentional? Opportunistic? Maybe both. But here's the twist most people miss: the power of plausible deniability. If she never says, "This was about Bianca," she gets the rivalry's heat without paying the rivalry's cost. Which brings us to motive: personal, professional, or a perfect overlap? Quick pulse. Want a frame-by-frame visual breakdown? Type side by side. Let's step into motive and messaging. Kim's public persona runs on 3 pillars: control the frame, commercialize the frame, expand the frame. This outfit does all 3. Control. The private jet backdrop is sovereignty. She's the director, the lighting, the set. Commercialize. The SKIMS adjacency hardwires the brand into the discourse. Expand. She threads herself into a rival's visual universe and forces the internet to discuss them in the same breath, thereby inheriting audience from a different orbit. Now, is there pettiness? There doesn't need to be. Rivalry doesn't require malice. It requires overlap. Bianca commands a new aesthetic frontier. Kim commands distribution. When those 2 vectors cross, every post becomes a negotiation over who owns the look, who owns the narrative, who owns the moment. And the thing about ownership online is simple. It belongs to whoever packages it best. Kim's advantage is packaging. She knows how to give the camera something the editor can cut 1,000 ways. There's also a cultural reading here. Faces wrapped, bodies sculpted, identities stylized into symbols. Both women are speaking to the age of hyper-visibility and strategic concealment. Who are you when everyone's watching? Whoever you design. That's the deeper reason these images travel. They aren't just outfits, they're masks we argue about to avoid admitting we all play dress-up for the algorithm. Which brings us to the quiet reveal. When you design for virality, you design for repetition. And repetition is how trends become revenue. If you're still with me, tap like. Tell the algo we're not done yet. So, what's the verdict? The internet will keep yelling copycat because it's an easy label and because rivalry content is catnip for the feed. But the smarter read is this: Kim is co-opting a visual language that Bianca amplified, then rerouting its energy toward her core asset, SKIMS. It's not theft, it's capture. And in media ecosystems, capture beats credit every time, because capture owns the distribution. Expect the next beats to follow the same rhythm. Paparazzi candids reinforcing the silhouette, a quiet product drop that happens to circulate with those images. Influencers recreating the look with affiliate links, then a wave of think pieces arguing about whether style can be owned in the first place. If Bianca answers with an escalation, something even more extreme, the story doubles. If she stays silent, the internet narrates the silence as shade. Either way, the cycle serves the person best prepared to merchandise the moment. Kim's team is built for that. And that's the lesson inside the spectacle. The winner in a visual culture isn't the one who did it first, or even best. It's the one who made it easiest to buy into. Kim's outfit is a billboard. The jet is a stage. The face wrap is a bridge from outrage to order confirmation. Whether you hate it, love it, or just don't care, you've already paid attention. That attention has a destination. And if you can map the route, you can predict the next stop. Before we close, tell me, if Bianca breaks the internet next week with a counter look, do we call it fashion chess or PR trench warfare? Your call shapes part 2. Here's where we land. Kim Kardashian didn't just wear a look. She engineered a moment calibrated to echo Bianca Censori's most viral silhouette while funneling the conversation back to SKIMS. Copying or translating, petty or brilliant, the result is the same. Attention captured, brand amplified, culture arguing on cue. If you're Team Bianca, you'll say Kim borrowed without asking. If you're Team Kim, you'll say she remixed and monetized like a pro. Either way, the algorithm got fed, and somebody's checkout page did too. If you want me to break down the side-by-side frames and track the product trail to the next drop, say part 2 in the comments. And if you're ready for more PR chess, click the next video. I'm unpacking the fallout you haven't seen yet.